Okay, here we are, part two, the tap follower, and I didn't film this. It was just too violent, of a operation. Kind of show you what I got. This is hardened and ground 1/4" pen that let's put that in here if we can, that I ground a flat in. There's all kinds of chatter in there. So here's the idea. I got the body in the drill press for some reason. Okay. So I have this threaded rod here. It has a ball bearing in the end of it. And this might be too big to do this, but I'm thinking of drilling, tapping, and threading this in there. And at first I was thinking of then drilling in the end of it, drilling and tapping in number 3, metric thread, and Loctiting this button head screw in the end of what's sticking out of this. And that way I could have some adjustment to be able to pull that out and push it in. But now I'm kind of thinking of putting it in there, cutting it off, and grinding it flat. And leaving it at that, making it kind of a permanent deal. But I kind of like the idea of having the moving ball that would ride in that channel and keep my pin from just falling out. Now originally I was going to have a point on one end, and on the other end have a hole, a 60-degree hole for the taps like this one that has a point on the end. But I don't have a whole lot of taps with points on the end, and I kind of and I got the tap, I got the pin vise, I got the screws, and I still think I might just tap it, drill it, tap it, insert the ball bearing piece, and then cutting it off flat and just making it a permanent fixture. And if I ever need to get in there and get it out, I could use a left-handed drill bit and twist it out of there. So it's kind of like where we're at. I haven't been working on the tailstock taper since my last video on it. This has been kind of a diversion from that, because this is kind of a pain in the ass, but I gotta get it done, and I will. So got to have a little fun with the mini lathe. This is a solid carbide cutter, by the way. I think it is, it was brand new. It says Super Morris carbide tool, and you can't see the 3/8 on there. GW Super Tool Division. Four flute, H spiral, solid, end mill, solid carbide end mill, yeah. So I tried a high-speed steel end mill, and it just laughed at it. It did manage to shine up a section of it, but that's all it did. Okay, let me get on this. Okay, here's a number 7 drill. We'll need to tap that then. Wow, didn't expect to do that. Let me take this over and blow it over in an appropriate direction. One of my little parallels slipped out. Okay, so it's just a matter of tapping that now. Put my drill away. Number 7 and quarter 20 tap. Huh, I have one already preset. Maybe I should use my tap follower. Okay, I got a bottoming tap, which I probably need to use. Let's drop this thing down and maybe bring it out here. Get you back here a little bit. See if you can still see that. Yeah, it's in the picture. Okay, so you know, I have a little block I could lay up here and make sure this is going in straight. I could put a tap follower in the drill press and do it. Instead, we're going to see if we can luck out and get a straight thread just by hand. Here's my bottoming tap. Okay, that's fine. And let's see how well that fits good. Let me blow this thing out and we'll try to assemble this thing in a manner. I think I'd learn after okay. What happened to my hole? I thought I had a lot more depth than that. Do I have something in there? Okay, well, let's just see if this works anyway. Oh, I have to shorten this still. I'm sorry. But I do have I'm right on the edge, so, you know, so far theoretically all this is going to work. I just need to lop off about an inch of this. So the idea is it's going to travel in here. On the little ball bearing. Now we're cutting hardened ground. Do I have any kind of carbide tools that's going to cut that? Let's see. Okay, tap follower. I guess this is still part 2. Here's where we're at. No spring yet. Got this kind of dated square screw, square head. Now, my original idea was to insert this into this MT2 blank. And then I could put the MT3 sleeve on it and use it over there on the big machine, big blue, little red. But now I'm having kind of second thoughts about that. I mean, this will chuck up just fine. It's just under a 1/2 inch. Spring in there. I did some pseudo milling on the mini lathe, and then I needed a little more travel, so I put it on the 8-inch bench grinder, and was pleased to find I could easily shape this hardened ground pin. Okay. At this point here we have no wiggle at all here. Fully extended, there's a little wiggle, but at this point zero wiggle. This thing fits perfectly. I guess I could still, I'm not going to try to drill a hole in the bottom of this, no. So I'm thinking I could still put a hole in the bottom and use this in this position, but no. First of all, my travel would not be able to be locked in. And I think I'll put a little, maybe a weaker, because I don't see this bolt, this screw coming in or out. I think it's going to be kind of permanent. So I'll either go with a flush set screw, we'll go with this old-timey looking square head. So what I need to do is pull off the 6-jaw chuck, put my MT3 sleeve on this, run it into my spindle, and drill it for 7/8. We're just under. You probably need to bore it. I think I'll just make the hole and then turn this to fit it. I think that's the way to do it. Okay, I'm back. I've been waiting for batteries to charge. I only have 2 batteries now, and I ended up with 2 dead ones. Oh. So, here we go. Where do we leave off? Okay, I know. We're going to machine this MT2 tool blank to receive the tap follower. Therefore, it will be able to be used in the tailstock, which will save me lots of room as opposed to using this in the chuck, which puts me well beyond the chuck if I had a chuck. Chuck. Well, look here. What are these bolts for? I put a magnet here and glued it on there. No, I didn't. I just stuck it on there. But when I'm turning the nuts to take my chuck off, I cup my, you know, of course I cup my hand under there to catch them, but if I can't catch them or I miss them, they go right to the magnet, and that eliminates getting down on your hands and knees on the floor looking for little nuts. Then they go right back on the studs where they will be when you need them for your next mounting of that piece of equipment. This has never happened before. Okay, normally I just peel the nuts off of this thing. There it is. And the magnet normally stays in place there. Okay, we're going to get up to speed here. I'm going to find out what I did with my oil. I'm going to bring it back up here. I have a magnet inside my oil can, and it holds that to the top of my lathe. I have it loaded with oil because of the lapping process I'm going through on the other machine. What size is this? This is a letter drill. Let me see. I wanted to do I wanted to do 3/8. So I believe that is a T, 358 thousandths. I want to eventually get this reamed out to 3/8. I should probably do 7/16, but I may still do 7/16. This is machinable, so it's pretty soft material. Okay, I believe I'm in the 1/2 inch range. Let's look into that. This is not a good idea. If you like to cut yourself, microfine cuts. Okay, let's go get my tool. We're going to do a toolbox tour, shop tour here soon. Okay, I am 117. .17. Well, it doesn't look like an inch. No, I'm nowhere near that. Nowhere near. There's another hole in there that I'm registering on there by mistake. So let's get the real hole. I'll get you there in just a second here. Get that chip out of there. Okay, there's 443. And I think that'll be plenty. I may not even use all of that. And be sure you clean that up well. You don't want to drag that into the works of your tool. I just realized I got the kind of red theme going on there with the measurement devices, and then you're going to throw on my new side cutters, red. Of course, I have a red lathe. Okay, that was. Let's see what that letter drill. Well, I'm pretty sure I know what it was. Go ahead and. Pull that drill bit out and see what size that was. A T. It is a T. The letter T. So I have my little collection of letter drills. And I have 2 more boxes. Some of the smaller sizes. And just kind of a mixed bag, I guess. Every once in a while I get the one that I need. Now, I was hoping to open that up enough to use this reamer, but I don't think that's going to happen, so I need to go for a larger drill. So let's go back into the last one we opened. And this is a R, which should be 339 thousandths. Yeah, I'll buy that. And what was the one I just used? Jesus. T. Was it a T? I'd like to have a U. Or a 9.5 millimeter. This is a Y. And the Y is going to get me close to 7/16. 5. And I can take this down to, see, that's damn near a 1/2 inch. Matter of fact, let's go ahead . Okay, I have to make some decisions. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, really. I'll be right back. Okay, I just went over this whole thing. 10-20 minutes of this thing being done. So, now you're going to get the 60-second version. I went and got a bunch of grub screws. I got a little shorty in here, and that's fine. I got one here, a little longer, that's fine. And I have a new spring which is very taut, very hardy. And with this thing compressed in your starting position, there's almost no wiggle at all, no perceivable wiggle at all. It's very, very tight. So we're going to take a look at this new spring. And I'm not going to compare it to the other one. It is probably wire size. It's probably 3 times the diameter. And it is half the length. And it is very stout. And is going to fit this tool nicely. And that's just below flush. I need to go in a little bit more. I'm going in about a 1/4 inch past that shoulder there. And that's where I get all my strength. So it's complete. It is the MT2 tap follower, which has the potential with one of these sleeves of being the MT3 tap follower. So finished. Fini. Now it's back to this. Thanks, guys.